I'd like to call the meeting to order. Let's take a moment of silence. Flag salute.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, a notice of this meeting has been sent to board members, all district schools, the Herald News, the Suburban Trends, the Record, the Messenger, West Milford Town Hall, the County Superintendent's Office, the Board Attorney, Cablevision of Warwick and West Milford TV 77, and posted in the Administration Building. Copies of the board meeting calendar resolution were provided to all local media, Town Hall, Township Library, and all district schools. Roll call, please, Mr. Schultz.
Mr. Seidowitz. Mrs. Dwyer.
Here.
Mrs. Jurgensen.
Here.
Mr. Lippy. Mrs. Marquardt.
Here.
Mrs. Romeo.
Here.
Mrs. Van Dyke. Mrs. Ricano.
Here.
Mrs. Lockwood.
Here. Could I have a motion to go into executive session?
I move to go into executive session, that the board will immediately go into executive session for approximately 30 minutes for the purpose of conducting a grievance hearing. The executive session minutes will not be released until such time as the privilege or confidentiality is no longer applicable.
Second.
Thank you. We will be returning. Oh, I'm sorry. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We'll be returning in about 30 minutes. I'd like to call the meeting back to order. Roll call, please, Mr. Schultz.
Mrs. Marquardt.
Here.
Mr. Seidowitz. Here. Mrs. Jurgensen.
Here.
Mrs. Dwyer.
Here.
Mr. Lippy. Mrs. Van Dyke. Mrs. Romeo.
Here.
Mrs. Ricano.
Here.
Mrs. Lockwood.
Here. Dr. Fenari, the superintendent's report.
Good evening, everyone. This evening we have some visitors with us and we have some wonderful recognitions that we'd like to share with you. So at this point, I would like to invite Mr. Haas, Commander of Veterans of Foreign Wars, up to begin our presentations this evening.
I'm not really a big mic user, but I guess it's on. I can hold the ceremony pretty well. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I will say I've noticed a lot of left-handed people up there. Awesome. I am one as well, so. We're here tonight to honor not only some of our students, but a phenomenal teacher, but as well these presentations that we're going to do also reflects West Milford Township Board of Ed that allows us to do these programs with our students and the teachers within the schools. We have 3 programs that are out there. One is the Voice of Democracy, that's for high school level, where the students prepare an oral essay based on whatever the annual theme is, and they get graded at our level, at post level here within the township. Then the top 3 winners move up to district level, or county level, if you will. They get judged there, top 3 winners, and the top winner goes to state. This year, as you'll see here in a minute, our first place winner, we had just one Voice of Democracy winner. She did not move. She still gets recognized here because of the district we have. We include the entire state county pretty much in it now, as a lot of members. Our second program is the Patriots Pen, which is now a written essay, again, based on a theme selected by the National Champion of the VFW. And that is geared towards the middle school, 6 through 8. Written essays that come up, and again, are judged by my teammates behind me. And I stay out of it because Bill Johnson's our chairman. Those top 3 winners will be presenting here. Our top winner here goes up to district level And the great thing about that is our West Milford winner won at district level, and a couple of weeks ago represented us at the state function where they had all the districts up there. Unfortunately, our winner did not advance to national level, but he represented West Milford with the utmost patriotism. We couldn't be more patriotism. We couldn't be more proud of his achievements at this level. The third function, the third program that we ran is the Teacher of the Year. There are 3 levels: one for elementary, one for grammar school, and maybe you up, one for middle school, one for high school. We had, and y'all see her here, right? We all know who she is. You know she's a phenomenal teacher and person, and she also advanced the state level. Not only does it cover, it talks about what they do in class, but as well as what they do on the outside and how they foster that patriotism. We'll get there. We replace it. We already know all the good stuff. But she's been great, and I'll tell you that. She invites us every year around Veterans Week. They come in and we talk about our, as you see, I have my Vietnam guys, my fellow brothers from VFW. I'm a contemporary guy. Contemporary is a very loose word. But, I've been in, 4 different combat leaders. So, and it's not even about me, it's about the kids tonight. With all that being said, though, we wouldn't be able to pull off these programs for our students and our teachers without y'all support. And I am going to make it is a mission of mine. When I got interviewed, when I took over this, my thing is for the kids. I want the newer generations to still maintain that sense of pride and patriotism in our country. You can't argue with the fact that this is the best place in the world to be. And that's what I want to continue that effort. As adults, we know, we live in it. The kids not so much with social media and everything. Sometimes they read and see dumb stuff, as I say. But there's a reality to it that we're still in the best place in the world. And they need to maintain that patriotism because, as Reagan said, it takes one generation to lose it, to lose the freedoms that we have. So, with that being said, I'm going to bring up Bill Johnson. He's going to tell you a little bit about the Voice of Democracy and how they do it, and then we'll present that award.
Evening. The Voice of Democracy is a national program. We spend, VFW spends millions of dollars every year on the students and teachers of the country. There's some 48,000 entries a year in these contests. So, like I say, if you get from one group to the next, monetary rewards get bigger. Top award for the VOD is a $35,000 scholarship in whatever college, and what they have to do is the money goes to when they get accepted at a college. It's not their money to just spend. They have to be accepted at a college, and then the award is given out. So today we're going to honor 3 people, or 3 categories, and as Rudy said, we're doing it here. We could do this anywhere, but you're the ones responsible for allowing these teachers and children to do what they do. And so we always feel that it's appropriate that we make these awards here in front of you, so that you too can appreciate what these kids can do. So, our first award is going to be for the Voice of Democracy, which Rudy has indicated is a performance. They have to do it on a video, and it gets judged. There's a name you might have heard before. Ms. Haas is Rudy's daughter, but he had nothing to do.
Veterans of Foreign Wars in the United States and its auxiliary, Voice of Democracy Certificate of Merit, presented to Jelena Haas in recognition of excellence in the Voice of Democracy audio essay competition. You have been designated an outspoken person for freedom.
And then we look.
We also have a medal for her and a autographed pen set on the VFW. And there's a little bit of a check inside.
Carving. So the first place winner is 300, 300, 200.
Patriots.
Unfortunately, we didn't get as much participation as we'd like. So this next year coming up for the 24, 25, and we're gonna make a bigger push. We'd love to get this bigger into there. And as Bill said, it's $35,000. State level, I don't even know what they're, because I mean.
So everybody who wins in the state, all 50 of them, get a minimum of $1,000. A free trip to Washington, an audience with the president, and all expenses paid to Kansas where they have the final presentation. So it's worthwhile for the students to participate. So,
Or car payment.
the second presentation is for the Patriots pen. Our first place winner also became,
We're going second place.
Second place first.
Second place first.
I don't want to do this anymore. All right, second place winner, these are all from the academic school, and Natasha, well done.
Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States and its Auxiliary, Youth Essay Certificate of Merit, presented to Natasha Blau. Second place, in recognition of excellence in the Patriots Pen Youth Essay Competition, you have been designated an outspoken young person of the future.
Think of, hey, Mom. Oh, you were ready then? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I present Natasha Blau. A Patriots pen medal, a pen, and a check for a soon-to-be cartoon.
Okay, my first place winner, Marco, also won our district level, and we were very proud of that, that we get somebody from our post. And his family is big enough that we expect to see other members of the family.
He's the youngest.
I don't know if you remember Jennifer Metcalf, well, her whole family won every category.
Let's give you the best soul in. Small inclination.
So Marco Petrosello is our first place Patriots pen winner.
Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States and its Auxiliary Youth Essay Certificate of Merit, presented to Marco Petrosello, first place. In recognition of excellence in the Patriots Pen Youth Essay Competition, you have been designated an outstanding spokesperson of the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, Marco. The first place medal. Obviously, if you have W pen, I'm just going to shake your mom. And his first place check.
Also, he's now able to participate in the next level, so we expect him to be our Voice of Democracy winner next year. And congratulations.
But wait, ladies and gentlemen, before we do that, as he turns in his check over to his mom, we're going to have him read his winning essay. His winning essay. So I present to you Marco Petrosello.
You guys hear me? Yes. America is the greatest country in the world. It is such a great place to live with its
culture, diversity, and influence on our world. Our country has truly influenced me in many ways. The most important ways America has inspired me are by celebrating differences, providing opportunities to all, recognizing those who serve, and valuing our nation's history. One of the ways America has inspired me is it showed me that it's okay to be different from everyone else. America is one of the most culturally diverse places in the world. People from all over the world immigrate to the United States, which is how our country is born. It also shows that our differences can influence other people and other cultures who want to come here for the freedoms America has, which is why my father immigrated here from Italy to America. America has also inspired me because it has shown me that it is never too late for a new chance in life. Many people move to America for a new opportunity to restart their lives with a stable economic system, equal rights for everyone, and a great democratic government system. We also have rights and freedoms in our country that aren't in other countries. Brave men and women in the armed forces fight and risk their own lives for the rights and opportunities of others. This is the heart of what it means to be an American and why this country is called the land of opportunity. Another reason why America is an inspiration to me is because its history has shown me that to never give up. We have been underdogs in many wars, and we never let that affect us. The main reason America is independent because we never gave up in the American Revolution. The British had two of the best militaries in the world during that time. We were completely outnumbered, and we had a vast majority of our military composed of regular townsfolk to join the army. But we persevered, and we beat the British. It is quite an inspirational moment to uphold. America is filled with tons of inspiration, whether it's from its history, present-day status, or from its diverse citizenship impact on foreigners' lifestyles, and it is filled with inspiring things. This is why America is great.
So one of the things that we were remiss, for the Voice of Democracy, this year's theme was, what do you feel are the most important tenets of our democracy? And for our middle schools, for the Patriots pen, it was, how does America inspire? And there we go. And it's great because he pulls back our personal experience of why. I'm also first generation Ecuadorian, so I'm the first one in my family born here. And I'd like to think I did some good stuff. So, in honor of my parents and my family that I have overseas. So with that, these kids did great. But now moving on to the people that actually inspire our kids, our teachers. So if you want to get ready. Our teachers program, and I will tell you, I went out to a fight with the state commander when we went out to the dinner because they did a teacher to get promotion there. And I didn't hear our teacher's name. I'm not doing it. And he said, well, what did she teach? History. Yeah, I said, well, I don't know what you know. Just ask me what she taught. I didn't ask me what she did. Apparently, the state of New Jersey has a lot of phenomenal teachers, but they do not have the one we have here. Krista is phenomenal. All right, Miss Provost, I'm older than I work to call her Krista. Krista's a phenomenal teacher. She always calls us in. I don't know what she does with the field hockey, but she has this amazing personality with the kids when she's teaching her history class. She brings us in, and trust me, there's a lot of history, as you can see from my teammates here that we have. I think we have about 400 years of military experience and amongst us. Well, no, it's just an E, sorry. No, we have a lot. West Milford is very robust with a veteran population between us and the region. There's a lot of us out here, and there's a lot that, anybody can just, if they need some experiences, they need some veterans, they need some help with something, good or bad, we're there. That's what we answer the call. Krista is an amazing extension. Krista, come on. She's an amazing extension of
was gonna take your time, read her resume, but
They really need to go.
she's done everything that you could imagine. She loves her job,
Yes.
and so if you ever want to see her resume, I have copies of it.
And she got glowing letters of recommendation from Greg Matlos. He's, and just a lot of people after they meet and they work with Krista. I mean, you can't really say anything bad. No, she's no, she's phenomenal. Like I said, with the students, with the family, with everybody, it's amazing when she takes the time. Well, and I don't know how she does it because she applies the same amount of energy to school, sports, and her family. So, and she does the perfect trifecta. She's just there. She knows how to do it. She's handling it. I'm sure she's got a great husband, a great partner to do all that. But
All this while raising more kids.
Exactly. Well, touching a new generation. We're going to read the thing here.
Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States, National Citizenship Education Teacher Post-Recognition Award, presented to Krista Provost, 2023-2024 Teacher of the Year, in recognition of promoting citizenship education in your classroom and school.
Look over there. Who's got a picture right there? There.
Thank you.
And as well as.
Oh, wow. Pampering.
Yes.
Wow. Oh, I love it.
So
Here's
just tell you.
naughty and nice list to be in.
Okay, yes, I'm sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, you Krista.
Just a shout out to our VFW. I've been having them in since I started teaching now, so like 16, 17 years. So I was looking forward to it. That day in November is like one of my favorite teaching days, just to sit back and hear the veterans talk. I also invite some parents and neighbors or my students who served or are currently serving, and you get a different perspective. And you guys keeping up with the essay contest for our students is what makes it happen. So thank you.
All right, and the last thing on this one is, just so you'll know that later on in May, our district, we have, the VFW has what's called the Loyalty Day. We bring in all the winners, we bring in all the district winners, we have a little luncheon, a little cookout there. We bring in, we have some county officials come into that, and we try to keep the politics out, but it's still a great representation of our county, and know that we have our county winner, the county winner for Teacher of the Year, and Patriots Pen came from West Milford. So, ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for our winners. And ladies and gentlemen, we bid you a fond farewell because I have to get these guys to bed. You didn't even hear what I said.
I give you the information about me.
Can we come upstairs? Let's have a
Thank you so much. Congratulations to the students and our staff winner. The annual celebration of our veterans, not only on Veterans Day, but also in an opportunity like this is tremendous. I have, my grandfather fought in World War I, my dad fought in World War II, yes, I'm old. And, I recently, within the last 5 years or so, found photos of my dad when he was 19 in Italy. He was in World War II, and, those are very special moments. And they don't talk about themselves. Our veterans are very humble, and we appreciate not only their sacrifice and their service, but the way they give back to our community. So, the next part of the superintendent's report is we have 2 of our schools who were named as New Jersey Schools of Character. and that Marshall Hill School and West Milford High School. This is something that all of our schools strive for, and they have that designation for several years. Is it 3 years? 3 years. And then they reapply, and our schools are always part of that body. So Washington, D.C., character.org has a nice little blurb that I'd like to just briefly read to you. Character.org certifies schools and districts each year at the state level that have developed and implemented an intentional, proactive, and comprehensive approach that embodies character into all aspects of school life. Schools and districts announced during this time period, we just found out about these about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, are considered by character.org's highest distinction. And so we want to recognize our Marshall Hill School and our high school, but really to also recognize the efforts of all of our schools in working to make sure that our students are learning in environments that really celebrate being kind to one another, being thoughtful, being deliberate about the way they treat other people. And I'm very proud, and I'm only here as a visitor, so I'm really proud of the schools and the students. And I know it takes a tremendous amount of work to apply and to maintain that designation. So congratulations to our two schools that we're celebrating this evening, Marshall Hill and the high school, but also to all of our schools. Okay. How long is it? I'm sorry. Okay. So the next thing that I have for you this evening is our HIV ITP information report. This is a report that we give twice a year, and this report takes the time period from July 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023. I do have breakdowns for each of the schools, but I thought that I would start with the district first. So these are our summary numbers. So district-wide, there were district-wide trainings, one that happened just before school started, August 31st, for our new hires. We also had HIV ABS meeting training on September 6th. So there were 2 district-wide trainings. Now there were many other trainings that happened at our schools, but this was the district level. District-wide programs that we would respect that happened the week of October 2nd, and School Violence Awareness Week that occurred on October 16th during that week. So those are 2 district-wide programs that happened during this period. During that same period, we had 12 HIV investigations initiated across the district. HIV investigations completed within 10 days was all 12 of those investigations. HIV incidents affirmed by the board, 6. Total trainings, 33. Total school programs, 67. District-wide trainings, 2, and district total programs, 2. So again, this is about half a year's worth of data. The reason that we had 12 HIVs with 6 affirmed means that the others were deemed unsubstantiated in the language that we typically use at the board table, so I wanted to make sure you were aware of that. Does anybody have any questions about our HIV? Great. I think I'm going to ask our student representative to speak now, otherwise we're sitting through a very long report. And I don't want to make you do that. So.
Hello, I'm Marina Petrosilla, and I'm the Student Council Secretary. First off, I would like to congratulate the West Milford High School Pipe and Drum Corps for their performance on the Red Hot Chili Peppers at Newton Theater on the 28th, so good job. Congrats to Michael McCluskey, who was selected to be a Passaic County Unsung Hero for 2024. Congratulations to the Journalism and Modern Reading class. The Literary Arts magazine took 2nd place at took a second place national award for the American Scholastic Press Association contest. Black and Gold, the Highland Review, is looking for submissions, so if you have any poetry, short stories, or artwork of any kind, please submit those to Ms. Petrosillo to be entered in the magazine. Club yearbook photos were held on the 14th, so thank you to Ms. Metcalf and Ms. Portman for organizing that. The senior superlatives are underway, so good luck to all those who are running. And check the senior Google Classroom to vote. The student council is also seeking acts for the Senior Choice Awards held in the spring. They need singers, dancers, magicians, comedians. Any type of performance is welcome. Juniors should be on the lookout for their prom bids. Their prom is being held the 28th and tickets will be available soon. This year's spring musical will be Footloose. The cast and crew will be putting on 4 shows from Thursday, March 7th through Sunday, March 10th. Tickets are on sale now. The guidance department is presenting college panel night tomorrow, February 21st. College representatives will be at the high school to answer all college questions. Interact Club is collecting dresses for the annual Cinderella project, so bring any new, gently used dresses or gowns for this cause. Dresses can be dropped off in labeled bags at the high school main entrance through the 23rd. The sale will take place on March 2nd from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the high school lower library. Congratulations to the cheer team who placed first in nationals. And with the PTSO, they have 2 upcoming events. A murder mystery dinner on the 24th at Lindy Lake Clubhouse for adults, and trivia night on March 15th, which is open to all students, staff, and community members.
Okay, thank you so much. Board members, at this time, the Central Office Administration team, we're going to present the update, mid-year update on our strategic plan, action plan. So I know you have this digitally, but this is the most updated copy, and I wanted to make sure you have that.
Sir?
Right, advance. Might have understood. Might need to turn it back on. Hold it back. There you go. You're live.
Okay, thank you everyone. As you know, and if I'm in a bad spot, I'm trying not to block the screen. Earlier in the year, we presented the strategic plan action plan that's based on a strategic plan that had been begun 2 years ago. Last year, there were activities that spoke to working toward attaining the goals of the strategic plan. And this evening, we are going to give you an idea of some of the things that we feel are highlights that'll help us to accomplish our strategic plan. Now, each of the years of this plan, we broke out year one, so last time we talked about things that we had in the works, as well as the way this plan is broken out. So I'm going to start us off. Sorry, this is a little squished. So the strategic plan, action plan has several goals and several goal areas. And our first goal area, as you may recall, is global learning and academics. And the goal itself is to continue using a different approach, a differential approach in all academic areas. The objectives that are part of this are to increase staff capacity for the use of instructional practice that address the needs of all students through the provision of meaningful professional development, to expand the use of data analysis and database decision-making to improve instruction, to improve academic outcomes for all students, including increasing local, state, and other forms of assessment, to continue to review and revise and implement the curriculum to ensure rigor and alignment to standards, both national standards and our state standards, and to encourage opportunities to increase student self-confidence, thirst for knowledge, and
Self-worth.
Self-worth, there it is. I'm reading on the margins here. Okay. This is a very tight screen, and I apologize, but if you recall, this is the way that we broke the plan out. So in the far left column, you're going to see the tasks that are part of the plan in the copies that you have in front of you. Then you see several columns that talk about exploring and planning, creating, implementing, monitoring, analyzing, and evaluating. So each of our tasks over each of the years, those X's move, right? So in the first year, we might have been planning something. In the second year, we may be implementing that item. In the first year, we might have created something, but by the time we are implementing, usually creation and implementation happen very, very close together, and then we might be monitoring. So if something's been in place for a long time, it may say that we're analyzing our current data and that we are perhaps exploring for a future year. So those columns are intended for those X's to move in the document you have. The next thing is the leaders that are responsible for implementing those things, the resource materials that we may need, the evidence that we expect to be able to gather to ensure that they're accomplishing that particular task. And then the status is in the last column. So what we've done to make this a little bit more readable, I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Novak in a minute, but I just want to show you what we've done here is we've given you highlights under each of the goals, and we also have a notation about what some of the outcomes are. So, Mr. Novak, I'm going to ask you to speak to the next few slides.
A few major themes, I suppose, throughout our goal number one. I think the biggest theme that we can pull away from this component is our work in K-12 mathematics. We've been speaking for many years about our wanting to, improve district mathematics. We were able to, through the strategic plan, begin a process for professional development. And that really, our work with Nancy Schultz, I've talked about it many times, so you want to rush me through, feel free. But that work with Conquer Math and training our staff in best practice instruction for New Jersey student learning standards has really led to all of these components that we're talking about here today. So the training takes place, all of our teachers K through K-8 in their particular coursework for math, along with our teachers of algebra and geometry received intense training, which is 6 full-day sessions in their first year, and then 5 to 6 full-day sessions in their second year. They don't only go and meet with Nancy Schultz at Concord Math. They also bring that work back. They meet in department meetings. They talk about it at faculty meetings. We had professional development day today where these themes are still present. This process with Concord Math led to our investigation into a new mathematics series for K-5, which we are in our first year of implementation. It's also led to the discussion about changing that program 6 and up. Just for example, today, when we talk about the implementation of the plan, today is one of those days where we're able to, our students are home, but our staff are here working hard. And one of the things that our middle school teachers did today is they had an iReady training, which I'll come back to. And the other was they met with a vendor who presented new mathematics programs for our students in grades 6, 7, 8, as well as coursework for Algebra 1 and geometry. So it really comes back to that, that intense training and the process for professional development that opened these discussions. And that was one of the goals when we first did this. You lead with training, and now our staff are more ready for what a progressive and contemporary program looks like. So that's the process that we're in now. So our 8th grade, 6th through 8 mathematics people met today with a vendor, and we don't know if that's the one they're going through. So they are beginning a process similar to what we did with our K-5, where we met with and looked at different materials. Over last year, I brought in a lot of materials. I just haven't had the official vendor presentations for them, but they have had their hands on materials. The other piece of that, which started with training, was then led us to iReady. iReady was a major theme of today's professional development day. Every staff member who works with iReady in grades K through 8 had a 2-hour training today to take a look at the results of Diagnostic 2, along with the interaction with the individual learning path that our students have been doing since they took Diagnostic 1. So today was just loaded with examples of our implementation of our goals. It was a long time for them, so feel free to rush along. Our language arts, again, with today, we did meet, our district literacy committee met today, and there's been a program one of the last programs we've been wanting to look at. It's called Wonders, and today was the 5th time we tried to reschedule. They just continue to be scheduled on the day that we have snow. Today was that day, and when I booked them for today, I actually made a joke to the committee that it looks like we'll probably get snowed out, because that's just what this Wonders presentation has been doing. So I believe we completed our process for reviewing sample materials for our K-5 replacement, and we're at that stage now of selecting staff members who are going to have a targeted pilot, who are going to prepare for visits into other districts to see these programs in action. We had some good to the public. Stabilization? Not yet. Go ahead. Okay. So we have received word that we have received stabilization aid, with the grant that Mr. Schultz filled out earlier in the year, and we are able to fund our K-5 program replacement based on the stabilization aid that we received. So all of our goals for this committee are in progress and on the way. One of our, one of the big picture goals, we talk about training, we talk about professional development for our staff. What's our end goal? Why are we working with our staff to get them more accustomed with New Jersey student learning standards? And it's one, so our students are better prepared for on-grade level instruction when it comes to whether it's moving on in coursework for the next level of high school, or making them better prepared for the next level beyond high school, whatever that is for our particular students. But it's also so that we can perform better on the state assessment. And that's what we are exposed to today with the iReady training, that, if we are implementing iReady to fidelity, that our students will improve on NJSLA. One of the I think, powerful parts of today's presentation was talking to our staff about the iReady diagnostic and how it is anytime you implement something new, it's not part of part of the program that's been, typical that we've been doing over the years. It has an appearance of, being new and somewhat disconnected. So today was a huge moment for connecting what we do with the diagnostic to the daily instruction in our classrooms. And that is just simply that the diagnostic assesses New Jersey student learning standards expected at that particular grade level, and that the student in my path helps fill in those gaps. And that's the process that we've been following along with, and that's what our staff was trained on today, and how to continue that, how to look at the data, and how to how to better use these tools as we go forward. So it was a great day. One of our goals was, when we moved the sixth grade into Macabin, it was during, right, year one was a pandemic move. So we set a goal to continue, focusing on that transition. They're there, things are going well, but we can always improve. We always take a look at what can we do better as a fifth grade in elementary school, moving on to a collective section in the middle school. So we do have processes in place to continue those collaborations, to have those discussions, to bring our students together as a unified sixth grade in the middle school. One of those is the discussion we continue to have with placement into certain levels of coursework, and having processes in the fifth grade for determining prerequisite learning, making sure students are ready for coursework that they place into in the middle school and beyond. I guess hiring, I've been thrilled to have Dr. Belzer, hiring the STEM supervisor. That was a big moment for things that we're doing and working today. It was a fun day today for our PD day to be able to see our staff work with a dedicated supervisor that I haven't had for many years. So that was an exciting part of the day. I don't know if you want to comment?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So we have one of the sections of our strategic plan has to do with academic rigor and raising the level of academic discourse, and also analyzing what we do in order to ensure that our students are really getting the best educational experience that they can. So the program of studies for the high school is updated and is continually being looked at so that we ensure that our high school courses are really targeted correctly. The second item there is our West Milford High School Academic Success Committee, which continues to meet. They're not only looking at our academic rankings as seen from the outside world, but they're also looking internally, taking a hard look at the things that we do and what things we want to see change, expand, be revised in order to help our students, again, be fully prepared for the future. That committee has met several times since the beginning of the year. You'll see all the dates there, and they continue to meet. And we should have a report for the board in the spring from that group. Also, adjustments are being made to the middle school math track, as Mr. Novak mentioned. We're taking a look at making sure that, this is something that we talk about a lot, making sure that the prerequisite skills in mathematics truly prepare our students for high school level mathematics courses. And professional development for secondary math teachers to ensure consistency in Algebra 1 and geometry. Mr. Novak also spoke about that when he was talking about Conquer Math.
And our teachers do also participate in the NCTM organization, which is the National Teachers of Mathematics, in some workshops that are scheduled. Okay. This next strategic plan goal area is hometown pride. So the goal was to increase the sense of pride and unity across all schools in the district. Some of the areas that are the objectives is to develop consistent branding across all schools, and we'll talk about that in a minute. To upgrade our technology, create greater awareness of township events using a variety of technology apps and tools, to empower individuals to impact the community through volunteering and mentorship, to increase student interaction with alumni, to facilitate transition from school to community workforce, and to continue the process for recognition as a district of character. And we just heard that we have 2 of our schools who have just renewed their New Jersey status as schools of character. So, and any of my colleagues can chime in on this, but we are in the process of creating a branding strategy for the district. This is something that the district has begun several years ago, and was something that, when I first came to the district, we talked about what are some practical things that we can do. So one of the things that we've implemented already is our district newsletter that was released in November of 2023. We have another issue coming out at the end of this month, and then there will be 2 more in April and finally in June. The idea with this newsletter is to hear not only from all of our schools, but also from some of our community partners. So we'll have opportunities for those connections to really be publicized for anybody to see. We have our district newsletter that gets posted to the district website, it gets sent out digitally, so we're going to continue that process. We're also looking at resources such as the communications e-kit for superintendents that's put out by the National Association for Public Relations Administrators, and the branding, the school branding guide through Constant Contact, and also several of the board members and some of those of us who went to New Jersey school boards attended some of the sessions, and we sat in on a couple of them that had to do with branding for school districts as well. And we helped to package all of that in a branding plan that will be shared with the board, in the spring. Let's see. So I think we talked a little bit about this already, but just making sure that the district website is continually updated. I think a highlight of that, the board's progress through the superintendent search. A page was developed and in conjunction with our consultant, but also, I want to shout out to Mr. Winston, who is our talented web designer and populator of all things information on our website. So thank you, Mr. Winston, for keeping that up. We talked about Marshall Hill and the high school as New Jersey schools of character, and that each school will reapply as their dates approach. The next area, I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Schultz for facilities and operations.
For those who've been on the Township Board of Ed Committee, we've had the meetings with the feasibility study for Hillcrest, and a part of that plan was a conversation that we had of possibly turfing another field in the district. Last month, you may remember, we approved the Township to apply for a grant through the Department of Community Affairs for $100,000 to possibly provide lighting at the possible field. Currently, we're also looking through the possible funding sources for the Township, also for the Board of Ed, to possibly fund new turf field in the district without having to impact our current operating budget.
Oh, you need it back?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So,
Okay. So did you, those or?
yeah, we did that.
Okay.
So for the HVAC upgrades that we've done, we recently worked through the final stages of it. We now have Mr. Kelly retired at the end of December. Now Mr. Glenn has replaced it at the beginning of February. So he's jumped in with full speed. That's all the ongoing projects in the district. We're at the final stages of the HVAC installation that was done in the fall. We're working on a lot of the with the subcontractor work out the panels and controls for the actual systems. So that's the final stage of that, and that'll be completed. Rooftop exhaust fans at the schools. Actually, we are fully completed. Most of the MAC fit is completed. There's some at the high school and other elementary schools have a mixed bag of some old and some new. Once the weather breaks and snow melts, we'll be able to get on the roof and see what needs to be updated and continue that replacement. The asbestos floor tile replacement, the items in 2024 have been completed over in our budget. As I mentioned, Mr. Glenn is new here, so he's actually has some walkthroughs scheduled this week in the district. We're going to walk around and see what's going on in the district, get a lay of the land, and see if there's any other floor tile replacement that he's interested in pursuing for next year's budget. One of the motions on tonight's agenda is this. We're looking to use some of the XA money that we received last year that we can appropriate for this year. I'm hoping to get some of the security panel and lock set upgrades to complete and designate some of those funds so we don't impact the budget for next year. Athletic maintenance, we're working with the township under the field maintenance and also looking towards the field maintenance for field for the spring for the upcoming sports seasons. Oh, no, yeah. Okay. And then also for the performing arts facilities now, as I mentioned, with Mr. Glenn, he's walking around getting a lay of the land, seeing what kind of other improvements we can do for our field and also for our performing arts facilities, auditoriums. I know we redid the high school a few years back, and now obviously we should start looking at the MAC auditorium as well. The LRFP is something that Mr. Glenn and I are both really arming ourselves with, as we're both new to our roles in the district. So we're going through all the projects included in there, seeing what needs to be adjusted and amended moving forward. And the feasibility study, as I mentioned earlier, we have that for the Hillcrest properties underway. I spoke to a member at E&B today. They're working through the plan for they're trying to propose over there to the Highlands Commission, and they're working with the township as well as to the information for that.
I'd like to ask Dr. Ressa to take over now. Well-being is our next step.
Okay, good evening. So the next goal that the board is placed as a priority in the strategic plan is the area of well-being, and to again create the environment that we want all of our students and our community members to be a part of. One that is inclusive, that is connected, and that promotes lifelong learning and promotes the well-being of all of our community members. We are doing this in a number of different ways, whether it's fostering that culture of acceptance in schools, promoting the mental and physical wellness for students and staff, as well as strengthening those peer-to-peer relationships, which is so important when it comes to student learning, making those connections and having our students and our staff just connect with one another and connect with each other as part of the learning process. Some of the things that we are doing, God bless you. You're welcome. Some of the things that we're doing in part of creating opportunities include utilizing the funding that we've been able to acquire from the ESSER grant, supporting clubs and activities throughout the districts, which really foster the social emotional learning. We look at the whole child, we look at the entire student to make sure that when they are feeling supported, when they are feeling encouraged, when they are feeling valued, that's when great learning happens for them. It's a safe place for them to be. So we also are doing that with clubs and other types of intramural activities. Our sports programs is very, very much a part, as we saw tonight from one of our teachers. The athletics and the program that we have here is such an important part of what we do in building that community. We also have a lot of staff wellness activities. We're very excited to be working with the Second Step program, where our agent today, our professional development day, we had a number of our teachers, our guidance counselors, work with our physical education teachers so that they can start bringing that social skills and social development curriculum into other parts of the school day. I believe right now we're looking at having it in our second grade and also I think school-wide in Nashua. So we're really looking to build out this program and continue to develop it for all of our staff, as it is a really valuable tool in helping our counselors and our teachers use really positive language to help our students identify, their needs as well as work well with one another. Moving on, we're also looking at creating professional development opportunities for staff, and really looking to develop these opportunities to work on things like peer conflict, family challenges, social emotional challenges. We have one of the tools that we use a lot, especially in our Highlander program, is the Nurtured Heart approach, which is a very student-centered, very language-based, that's positive, that's encouraging, that looks to help students with their sense of self-worth and really frame things in a positive way and even encouraging students using that really positive, encouraging language. We're very excited about the opportunities that we've been able to do this year as it relates to bringing in therapy animals to the district. It's an amazing thing to see students that maybe don't have language be able to really connect with that animal, a therapy animal. So we've been able to do that at Marshall Hill. We've been able to do that at Highland Academy. And actually to date, what we're in the process now is looking at the little stable in Warwick to explore other possibilities to bring kids in and connect with the animals there. So, I've seen it firsthand and see the wonderful things that happen for students and staff, all of us, when we can be able to connect in that way. So that's something that we're exploring for our special education programs. And then lastly, too, we really make sure that our events are centered on mental and physical wellness. I know we do a lot across the district in that area and are going to continue to really help, not only with our students becoming, aware of themselves, but also good digital citizens. I know that's a big thing that comes in March. But we're also looking at other opportunities to develop wellness for our students and mental and physical wellness opportunities. So
And I'm going to ask Mr. Schultz to return for the final section.
So to stabilize district finances, after all the state cuts we've had over the last few years, one of the steps that we do is we shut down the purchasing system midway through the year, and any purchase, this has been a practice since my predecessor, Mr. Francisco, and we've started making really hone in on what we're actually purchasing, how much of the money we have available for the end of the year, and then any purchase orders are requested on an individual basis through the business office. So that's one of the ways. One of the other things we've done is pursue and manage alternate funding sources. As Mr. Novak mentioned, we applied for the stabilization aid back in the fall. We received word on Friday that we received $405,996 from stabilization aid. So it's not quite the total amount that I applied for, but at least it's something that's going to help the district, to help our ELA program, and hopefully some of the other items we included in the application. I was pretty out there to reallocate any of the funds in response to S2. From the time I started 9 years ago as the accountant for the district, we've been cut over $9 million in savings. So the district has really had to prioritize and reshuffle and basically reinvent itself financially to continue a lot of our programs and things we do for the students in the district. As I mentioned, we limited spending in January 2024. The enrollment figures, we're monitoring. There was an item in the budget books you got. I received the enrollment for the upcoming school year. As of now, we have, at the time of the budget, we had 148 students registered for kindergarten at that time. I'm sure we've had more since then. That was at the beginning of February. We were reviewing the enrollment figures, monitoring this year, next year, seeing to evaluate teaching staff and the needs of the district. And also we've done other needs assessments. The auditors here present on last year's audit tonight. We had a mid-year budget review down at the county that me and Dr. Fenari attended. It was a great success. We've been talking to other districts down there, also with the county business administrator, and seeing other issues other districts are having and how we're similar and different to some of those districts. And we had budget planning sessions with all the administrators back in December that formulated the budget that we're currently working on and we're going to be working on over the coming months. Budget analysis is currently ongoing. It's in your budget books that we have now, so I'm sure we'll be discussing that in the coming weeks. Stabilization aid, we received $405,996. We found out on Friday about that. The ESSER grant that we received, we've been working on. We are working with that in order to implement the activities that are funded by the grant into the operating budget. One of the important things that we've been doing is Mr. Novak has been running the STEM camp for multiple years. We have the extra funding available for this upcoming summer, but it may be something we need to evaluate moving forward to continue that program. As well as what we've funded with ESSER funds is the Chromebook purchases over the last few years. So this upcoming year will be the first year since before the pandemic where we'll have to fund the Chromebook purchases for our recycle schedule for the operating budget. Another thing is also we are subsidize our Encore program between title funds and ESSER funds. Now, if the ESSER fund's unavailable, we're working to absorb that into the operating budget again so we don't impact the programs. Regarding ESCA funds, I work closely with Mr. Novak and his department on all the activities that they're running through the grant, also Dr. Ressa with the IDEA grant. Capital projects, one of the things we did last year in the spring was any of the projects that were completed, we fully returned those, any balances that were projects under budget, we returned that to the funding sources. So we're looking to do that again at the end of this year with any of the ongoing projects. I know for the marketing and cafeteria, for the asbestos forum, we came in under budget there, so we'll look to see a motion probably in the spring to return that money to capital reserve.
So at this time, I just wanted to make sure that the board doesn't have any questions. I know we threw a lot of information at you, but the intent here is to make sure that we hold ourselves accountable and that we are transparent with the board and the public as to how we are moving through the accomplishment of the strategic plan goals and objectives. So board members, if you have questions for us, please let us know.
I have a question. I think the stabilization grant was $400,000, and then in addition to that, the money that you applied for, was that a grant, that $494,000? Well,
the 405 that we applied for a stabilization aid grant in the fall. We applied for over 1.4 million.
Okay.
We were awarded the 400,000 and just found out that's Friday.
okay, and that's it. There's no more.
And that's it as far as that.
$400,000. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Yeah. Like we put some heat on the thing here. Look, it's really cold. Can we put some heat on the new So that concludes my superintendent's report.
Thank you, Dr. Bernardi. Mr. Novak, your Director of Education.
All right, so I did try to be efficient and mention some of the professional development day activities in the presentation, so I don't have to take too much of your time just commenting. I just want to say thank you first to everybody who was involved in today's event. It was a tremendous day. I thought it was pretty loud. It was a great day in terms of team effort with staff members, teachers, administrators, myself. Feedback from all of you in terms of what type of day we presented for our professional development. iReady was a tremendous success today with many staff members taking away some new knowledge that they, I guess, were curious about and came with a lot of great questions for our sessions. And then I feel that what I talked about at the end of some of the sessions, we talked about momentum and that every day we get a little bit better, and that we're about 5.5 months into a major implementation for everybody in grades K through 8, all staff members, all students, and I couldn't be happier with where we're at, and I feel like that was sort of a shared vision and discussion in today's professional development. Just to give you a few highlights, Dr. Russell mentioned, I won't be redundant. We did have a great multilingual learners presentation for our language arts department. We've talked about in our meetings over the years that our students requiring those services has grown over the last 3 to 5 years. We've got a significantly different population for multilingual learners than we had 5 years ago. And we are on the track for, making sure that our programs are appropriate for the population that we have, and especially where we see growth. I know that Dr. Essa did a great job. I don't know if you want to comment on, some of our, along with, new programs. There's also a level of compliance in terms of what we do in Professional Development Day. And I know we had quite a few staff members trained in CPR, Handle with Care,
CPI, second step, social emotional learning was a big component of what we did today. We had Judy Lobianco come and work with our coaches and our physical education staff in terms of some of the things we've been talking about over the years with our comprehensive health and physical education curriculum. So overall, it was a great day, great team event. The high school was a great host. Many of our sessions were housed at the high school today. So again, I just wanted to comment. I don't know if we have a complete schedule. Before the evening's over, I can share that with you so you see what the schedule looked like and you can see what was accomplished over these days.
Thank you. Did you want to say anything?
No.
Okay. Any special reports and correspondence, Mr. Schultz?
Yes, we actually have Matt Wilcox from our auditing firm who's going to present the audit from June 30th, 2023.
Good evening. What a lovely meeting. I know a lot of it. This is really awesome. My name is Matt Wilcox. I am a principal at Wilcox & Company, your auditors, and I'm here to present the audit as of June 30th, 2023. I don't know if everybody had a chance to look at the audit. Really, am I not on?
Yeah.
No, okay. All right, good. Thank you. So, pretty stellar audit. There was one comment this year. The one comment is one that we're seeing pop up everywhere that has to do with net cash resources exceeding 3 months average operating expenses in the food service fund. Basically, what that is, the state has a law that you really shouldn't be generating any kind of net cash resources in excess of 3 months of your operating expenses because the school service is supposed to be, kind of a net zero cap. Unfortunately, what happened during the pandemic, the federal government threw out hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars all over the state, country, and it ended up creating cash resources. So now our job is to spend them. I've talked with Mr. Schultz. He said you have actually already spent it subsequent to the audit. So that one will be gone next year. Other than that, having only one comment and that comment is a pretty good thing. Like I said, most of my clients will have that comment just based on the way that the federal government, state government is handing out funds for food, especially for schools, food service. Otherwise, your reserves look good. You're, generating money back into the reserves around what you're spending. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity. Very nice working with you. And if anybody has any questions on the audit, there really wasn't much to talk about. It was very good.
Thank you for coming tonight. The one thing that I'd like to go over pretty much annually that I've been here in the auditor's management report, just because it's difficult for board members to understand. If we can go over page 14 and surplus calculations and how they relate to what we use for the current budget that we're in, right, and what we would use for future budget.
Right, so the excess surplus calculation, basically it's a state law that says 2% of, there's this calculation with, 2% of your total general fund expenditures from the current year. You can't have excess surplus over that, and if you do, you have to reserve that to use in future years' budgets. So the calculation is really, this is off of state law, so it's all basically broken down. There are things that are going to be applicable to you, such as capital reserve to capital projects fund, where you see the $525,000 here, and then things that are not going to be applicable to you, such as the other three above that. And really, it's just a calculation. And what it says is that if you generated this much surplus in 1 year, you have to use it to offset the tax levy as a reserve to that tax levy in the future year. So again, it kind of goes hand in hand with the school food service, right? We're not supposed to be generating a surplus here, and if we do, there's a million reasons why you would generate a surplus. Some of it's good budgeting, some of it's that you'd rather generate a surplus and find yourself in a sticky situation where you don't have a surplus and have to, unfortunately, based on the school budget, 75% are going to be salaries, wages, pensions, and benefits. Under budgeting is a much bigger problem than creating a surplus. So based on what I'm seeing here, based on seeing that the $87 million are your current fund expenditures, to have excess surplus of $1.3 million really isn't isn't terrible, right? That's, you're doing a pretty good job budgeting, and we use that.
How long do we have to apply that, that extra money?
Well, you would use it in the subsequent years, but
Is there a number of subsequent years?
it's one.
It's 1 year?
Yeah, so you would
Okay,
use it
that's what I thought.
right, so you would use it to offset the general taxation to the
For
public.
the following year?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly. So yeah, it's a general calculation. The mindset behind it is that, right, we shouldn't be overtaxing the public. We use what we have to do to provide what we need to our students to give them the best education that they should get. And if we do produce an excess surplus, we do use that to lower taxation in the subsequent.
The subsequent year?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
So looking at this on page 15, that 2 million and change, that was for up to June 30th, correct? That was used.
These are adjustments.
Yeah.
Well, give or take, just on a.
Yeah, so this is a calculation as of June 30th, 2023. And then that number would have been used in your 2023, 2024 budget.
And the line that states E, 1.3. On the very top, they just kind of reference.
I believe that would be the number for last year.
And that was used for this current budget.
Yeah.
So well, actually, the 1.3, that's the amount that we're working with for the budget we're working on for next school year.
Okay. So obviously, these past 4 years or 3 or 4 years have been impacted by COVID, and I think it's a huge thing to note that this is dwindling. So I only bring this up so we can pay attention in the future. Thank you so much.
You got it. I will say that most of the districts in the state are dealing with that just because the money that was, getting thrown around. Any other questions? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And next thing we have is the meetings, for the multiple meetings we've been having lately. We've been meeting with each other very often. We have the January 23rd, the minutes for the January 23rd workshop ethics special action meeting, the January 23rd executive session meeting, the January 29th special meeting, January 29th executive session, January 30th budget regular meeting, the January 30th executive session minutes, the January 31st special meeting, the January 31st executive session minutes, the February 1st special meeting, February 1st executive session, February 12th special meeting, February 12th executive session, and the February 15th special meeting and February 15th executive session minutes.
I'd like to move the meeting minutes that Mr. Schultz just read out to us.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Point of order. Those executive session meeting minutes have excused absences, so we have to kind of go by roll call.
Yeah. So,
Sorry.
So I'll go with the January 23rd executive session minutes. So Mr. Seidowitz?
Point of clarification. Yeah, more along the lines of those that weren't able to participate in the superintendent search. I think that those meeting minutes have to be
They should have been.
segregated only because they have excuses and everything like that. So I guess we can move the meeting minutes. Do what you need to do.
Wait, January 23rd and 30th are the regular board meetings.
Correct, yeah.
So you can vote on those together like we do every month. And then we can do all of the special meetings. I assume everybody was present for all of the special meetings. Everybody was eligible to be present. No? All right. there, then you'll have to do each one of those individually.
So why don't we just, may I make my suggestion? Read out the line. I make a motion to approve the January 23rd, 2024 workshop ethics special action meeting. And then somebody would say second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And then we move to the next one. Can we do that?
Sure.
Great. I move the January 23rd, 2024 executive session meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I move the January 29th, 2024 special meeting minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I move the January 29th, 2024 executive session meeting minutes.
Second. Aye. Oh, sorry.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Steve? Aye. Any opposed?
I move the January 30th, 2024 budget regular meeting minutes.
Second.
You missed
Yeah, I'm gonna say you missed. Missed,
January
29th.
executive.
I'll move January 29, 2024 executive session.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Go ahead.
I move the January 30th, 2024 budget regular meeting minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I move the January 30th, 2024 executive session meeting minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I move the January 31st, 2024 special meeting minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain. Any opposed?
I move the January 31st, 2024 executive session meeting minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Abstentions?
Abstain.
I move the February 1st, 2024 special meeting minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions?
Mr. Schultz, you're grabbing these abstentions? Yeah. February 1st, I move the February 1st, 2024 executive session meeting minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Abstain.
I move the February 12th, 2024 special meeting minutes.
Oops, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Abstain.
I move the February 12th, 2024 executive session meeting minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions?
Abstain. But the only people that should be saying aye to that are if you were in the education committee meeting, right?
Or what?
February 12, 2024 executive session. What is this?
That was the super.
Yeah.
That's the next. Okay.
I move the February 15th, 2024 special meeting minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions?
Abstain.
I move the February 15th, 2024 executive session meeting minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
No.
abstentions?
I was at the February 15th and I don't accept the minutes. There's missing information.
Minutes for, that's for the superintendent?
Uh-huh. Committee meeting.
Not committee, we don't vote on committees.
How the executive session is.
Yeah.
Well, then what's the special meeting?
That's for that's to go into executive session. So the special meeting is to go into executive session, so it's all for the superintendent search.
Okay, so none of this had to do with the packet that was in our,
No.
got it. Billy, I'd like to just abstain on the entire thing, just because I have no idea which ones then. So if you could just abstain me, they'll all start us, thank you. I was very confused, I'm sorry.
We're starting to smell gas back here.
Yeah, I smell it too.
Does somebody have like a walkie to contact custodial?
Or I go out like this.
It's short and sweet. I just wanted to give a big congratulations to Coach Krista Tripodi and the high school cheer team for winning their division and becoming grand champions. Congrats. police escort into Highlander yesterday, into the high school. That's awesome. A quick update on the superintendent search. We're winding down. As you can see, we just approved a lot of meetings for it. We have 2 meetings scheduled for this week, one tomorrow and one Thursday, and we're down to our final 3. So that's moving along very smoothly. And that's it for my president's report. So I'll move on to public comment. So all speakers will have 5 minutes to speak until a period of 30 minutes transpires. Before speaking, please state your name, group affiliation, and address for the record. Members of the public who have requested to speak prior to the meeting will be recognized by the chair first. After speaking, all speakers are asked to sign the register provided and give their full name, group affiliation, and their address. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. No participant may address or question board members individually. All speakers are expected to have read the statement within the agenda regarding the regulations concerning public comments. Members of the public are reminded that they are legally responsible and liable for their comments. Mr. Schultz, has anyone signed up to speak?
No, there's not.
Anyone wishing to speak?
Move to close public comments.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Dr. Bernard, do we have any changes to the agenda?
There is one change to the hand carry that was
Mike.
board. Motion number 32 is to be removed. Sorry about that. Yeah, so on the hand carry sheet that was distributed to the board, motion 32 is to be removed.
I move to adopt the agenda.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so education. Mrs. Dwyer.
Okay, I'd like to move items 1 through 10 to approval.
Second.
Any discussion? Yes, Mrs. Romero.
Number 7, who applied for this, and do we know which tier 1 interventions they'll be using?
So we have, I have some literature here that I'll pass around to the board on this organization, NJ4S. This is an organization affiliated with the Department of Children and Families that is providing our district with different groups and supports for students after school. As you'll see in the literature that's being passed around, this is an affiliation that will allow us the ability to have access to counseling groups and resources through the state of New Jersey and Department of Children and Families. And I'm glad to hear that. I didn't hear the first part of the question, so I'd like to just get that question again from you again. But I have this information is circulating for the board too.
So now it's a 3-part question. The first part was, did you apply for it? Like,
did we physically apply? No, there is no application process.
Okay. 2 questions then. Do you know what the tier 1 interventions are that they will be providing? And in what buildings will they be?
So the tier 1 interventions are the information that I'm passing around. So that would be groups for general education for all students. So these are groups for different topics such as bullying prevention, social emotional awareness, conflict resolution. Again, the literature kind of shares some of those tier 1 interventions because again, these are interventions that are available for all students. So they're not as specifically targeted like a tier 2 or tier 3 as you were indicating through that question. So that answers the first part of it. The second part of your question?
What buildings will they be in?
Right now, that we have 2 schools that are interested in those services, Paradise Knoll and Aptua. But I have talked to other principals who have expressed great interest in having those programs available to their students after school as well.
Sorry. When it seems as if all of their services are provided to all state residents. So I can apply to bring my child to an after-school one. There were some in Lakewood, there were some in Princeton. So we will be having students from other towns after school in our buildings. Is that how this is going to work?
Not to my knowledge. So we'll apply to, or we'll have, I won't say apply, but we'll request groups to be provided on those various topics available to students in our community. I'm not aware of there being any students from other districts that will be participating. In the minutes from the committee, you'll see I did reach out to a number of districts that shared their input, and they did not mention anything about other school districts, students or communities being a part of those groups. Those were groups that were provided to their students and their students alone.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for your patience and my questions answered.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay, I have another question, sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Number 4, it's my understanding that Great Minds is our new math program.
Parent company for Eureka Math.
Eureka Math. So can you just tell me what is included in this price? So it's the training of the teachers, the textbooks, the workbooks,
There's 2 parts of it. The first part is the completion of our initial training. So I had originally scheduled for Great Minds to come today. It's a 6-hour training it was a 6-hour remaining training for our staff who are using the program. But they also had iReady today, and we just finished our iReady diagnostics, so I wanted to kind of tier our needs, and I thought iReady was more important. Within this, we had some professional development money already budgeted and paid for when we purchased the Great Minds program, but because I wanted to break this out to, I guess, to be better for our staff members. In September, we did a full day, we talked about it in here where it was like one of the hottest days of September. Teachers were in the high school capitol together, hundreds of staff members together. The training was adequate, but it wasn't what I wanted. So this proposal is what I want, which is each grade level is getting a 6-hour training with just kindergarten, just first grade, et cetera. So that's the first part of the quote, and that is the completion of the first year implementation training for Eureka Math Square. The second part of it, which is funded through, so there's 2 parts to our funding. One is using Title II, that's our professional development grant. And the second part of it is through ESSER, which is the Accelerated Learning, Coaching, and Educational Support part of COVID relief funds. And that is in-class, in-school coaching. So each building will get 5 days of an instructional coach from Great Minds working specifically with the implementation of Eureka Math Square. So that would be weeks after the completion of the training. Then, so the training scheduled for the end of March, the coaching will be throughout the spring. And every school is going to get 5 days of an instructional coach going in to work with our teachers, answer questions, help them implement the program. So at the end of year 1 for Eureka Math Squared, we know that we've done everything necessary to support our staff in that training. So this is the completion of that process. When we built the ESSER grant, this was part of it. I believe this is the end of our ESSER coaching funds, which has to be spent. Is that it?
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing none, roll call please, Mr. Schultz.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mrs. Jurgensen?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Seidowitz?
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo?
Yes.
Mrs. Marquardt?
Yes.
Mrs. Lockwood?
Yes. Okay, personnel, Mrs. O'Connor, can you take that?
I'd like to move items 1 through 29 and items 30 through 31 on the hand carry.
Second.
Any discussion?
I have I can't find a resolution, but we're approving someone on here. And I can't find it, but anyway, it starts February 8th. It starts February 8th. Why didn't we approve that before?
It's going to depend on the resolution.
It's number
13, I think.
Number 13, right. Retroactive from February 8th.
So,
why wasn't this approved ahead of time?
because the State Department of Education issued this teacher's certificate on the 8th.
Okay,
And
but
so
she's been
substituted.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Anyone else?
I would pick up on this. I just wanted to congratulate Linda Jacobs. I see that she's on here for retirement. And while I congratulate her, and I hope she enjoys a wonderful retirement, she is a tremendous loss for our district. My son had her, and I had her father as my principal in UGL. They're an amazing family, and she is an amazing teacher, and she will be missed.
Ditto.
Yeah, I second that. She will be a great loss to this district. I wish her well in her retirement. I think she's earned it. I believe she's been teaching for over 27 years. So very well deserved and will be very missed. Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, roll call please, Mr. Schultz.
Mr. Seidowitz?
Yes.
Mrs. Jurgensen?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
No on number 14 and number 27, yes on everything else.
Mrs. Marquardt?
Yes.
Mrs. Lockwood?
Yes. Operations and Finance. Mrs. Romeo, can you take this, please?
Absolutely. I'd like to move number 13 under Operations and Finance.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call please. Oh, sorry.
On this food service, Bill, have we looked into any other food services?
We went out to bid, I think it was 2 years ago, and the food service company we have now, Pontoni, and they were the only company that submitted a bid.
And what
Last one went to bid.
about this year? Have we?
This year, well, food service contracts you can renew up to 5 years. We renewed them this past year for the current school year, back in the spring. There's a motion for that.
Too bad. Okay, thank you. You're welcome.
Yes, Mrs. Romeo?
Number 4, that facility comes to us, right?
Yes. Yeah, Mrs. Talmadge, our transportation supervisor, said they will bring a truck or a bus and they can come in, they'll do the testing, and then they'll leave and take care of what they need to do.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing none, roll call please, Mr. Schultz.
Mrs. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mrs. Jurgensen?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Seidowitz?
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo?
Yes.
Mrs. Marquardt?
Yes.
Mrs. Lockwood?
Yes.
I'd like to move number 9 under Operations and Finance.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mrs. Jurgensen?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Seidowitz?
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo? Mrs. Marquardt?
Abstain.
Mrs. Lockwood?
Yes.
I'd like to move 10 through 13, sorry.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mrs. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mrs. Jurgensen?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Seidowitz?
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo?
Yes.
Mrs. Marquardt?
Yes.
Mrs. Lockwood?
Yes.
Now,
Policy.
I'd like to move item number 1 under policy.
Second.
Any discussion?
When was the last policy meeting?
So the last, we did not have policy this month because of the rescheduling. So last policy meeting was last month.
Okay, so this bylaw was discussed last month.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Seidowitz?
Yes.
Mrs. Jurgensen?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo?
No.
Mrs. Marquardt?
Yes.
Mrs. Lockwood?
Yes. Committee reports, Parks and Recreation, Mrs. Dwyer.
Okay, I was not able to attend because of superintendent interviews, so Mrs. Marquardt went, and unfortunately, the rec department did not have quorum, so they will meet again next month.
Thank you. Safety, Mrs. Rakano and Mrs. Dwyer.
We have a meeting February 22nd at 10 a.m.
Superintendent's Roundtable, Mrs. Rakano.
We met last week. Some topics that the Superintendent's Roundtable brought up. They wanted to know what the procedure was when students have excessive absences. And Dr. Fernari communicated that the district would work with parents and counselors to determine if there's an underlying cause for the absences. Truancy letters are generated and sent automatically based on the information in the parent portal. And she did note that the district can be penalized for excessive student absences. They also brought up in specifically the middle and high school, the lunch options being limited for later lunch periods. So Dr. Fernari was going to check on that. And as we heard from the update on the strategic plan, Mr. Glenn has been very busy. They brought up the Marshall Hill Playground, and as we heard here, I believe at last month's meeting, there's a drainage issue at the Marshall Hill Playground, and Mr. Glenn is already on it. We talked about iReady and the MyPath lessons. They just wanted to make sure that they should be being marked for completion only and not for a grade in the grade book, and that's for both the diagnostic and the MyPath lessons. And Dr. Fernari did confirm that. And they were wondering if, since we have iReady, Delta Math, and some other tools, why is IXL still being utilized? And it's just another available resource, just giving our teachers another tool in their kit. And that's all that came from the Superintendent's Roundtable.
Thank you. Passaic County School Boards Association, I could not attend because of superintendent meetings. Anyone I know, I think Mrs. Van Dyke, I know she did go. Mrs. Romeo, I think you said you might be able to go.
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay. So no update on that. New Jersey School Boards, Mr. Silence.
I sent everybody a webinar about the board's role in the budget process, and it is a good refresher or a good learning tool for our upcoming budget season. That's that report. I don't have a legislative report, so let's move along.
Technology oversight, Mrs. Marquardt.
Today we had the best meeting ever. I have no complaints. So when we started off talking, Mr. Winston was giving an update on the district wiring upgrades. It's ongoing and almost complete. Our E-rate provider has been very helpful through the process. Our prices for point-to-point communication and internet services have gone down 7 to 12%. We spoke about classroom technology plan, and Mr. Winston provided a thorough explanation of the type of technology we have in our classroom and how he plans to replace the technology using the replacement plan. We spoke about the district's rolling replacement plan for the student Chromebooks. Google has expanded the expiration date of support for the Chromebooks, which allows them to be relevant for a longer period of time. Mr. Winston has the system for yearly replacement of the Chromebooks fine-tuned. New Chromebooks are provided to 2nd, 6th, and 9th grade students. The Chromebooks that are returned from 5th and 8th graders are distributed to kindergarten and 1st grade students. 225 Chromebooks were pre-purchased for next year with the remaining ESSER II funds. This will be the first year that the Chromebooks are back in the budget due to the ending of the ESSER II funding. The cost per Chromebook is $320, which includes the unit, software, cover, etching, and white glove service. Our IT department is trained to do the repairs, and all that is done in-house. We spoke about the district's infrastructure and began a discussion about moving away from internal servers in favor of cloud storage. There would be a significant cost savings if we switched to cloud-based storage, and this was just a preliminary discussion. We spoke about instructional software and licensing, retiring what we don't need and renewing what we do need. I did request a usage statistics report for the board to help with justification for renewing or retiring. The last thing we spoke about was Know4, which is a module that helps identify and assess suspicious messages that are reported by users as for phishing. If a user receives an email that they are unsure of, there's an icon that they can use to check the email. If the email is phishing, it will be isolated, if not, it'll be marked C. There is a component that sends out test phishing emails and will let the users know if they handled it correctly. The expectation is that training will be rolled out during the March PD for administrators and maybe secretarial staff to begin with, and then remaining staff and students will follow. So, and I don't know when our next technology meeting will be.
Okay. Thank you. The West Milford, I'm skipping over Township Board of Education Joint Committee, nothing to update on that. West Milford Municipal Alliance, Mrs. Jorgensen. Yes. The West Milford Municipal Alliance met on Monday, February 12th. We had a presentation from Teresa Monacera and Diana Dill Chavez from NJ4S. This went so well that they were looking into having them return to present for WM77. We discussed our upcoming fundraiser, Pedals for Prevention, which will take place on Saturday, April 13th from 8 to 4 at the West Milford Parks and Rec. Registration is now open and online through their website, as well as through a link on the WMMA page on the Township website. And there is also a QR code set up as well. They're looking for student volunteers for this event, so if there is a student needing volunteer hours, please reach out to Debbie O'Brien at wmma@westmilford.org. Several grants are being worked on at the moment to bring programs and activities to our school community, as well as the community at large. One of the events we are working on is Scott's Fun Run, which will take place on Sunday, May 19th at the Rec Center. And the Junior Police Academy has a date set for the week of July 29th through August 2nd, and there are more details soon to follow. Thank you. Thank you. Special Education Parent Advisory Committee, Mrs. Marquardt.
Okay, so there will be an informal parent meeting, March 5th at 7 p.m. And the next CPAC meeting, which can be attended virtual or in person, will be March 13th at 7 p.m. and the location is to be determined. Also, the West Milford School District will have a week of inclusion starting Monday, February 26th. Monday will be Neon Day, Tuesday Tie-Dye Day, Wednesday Comfy Day, Thursday School Spirit Day, and Friday Inclusion Day.
Thank you. Old business. Any old business?
Move to close old business.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? New business.
Move to close new business.
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Public comments. All speakers will have 5 minutes to speak until a period of 30 minutes transpires. Before speaking, please state your name, group affiliation, and address for the record. Members of the public who have requested to speak prior to the meeting will be recognized by the chair first. After speaking, all speakers are asked to sign the register provided and give their full name, group affiliation, and their address. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. No participant may address or question board members individually. All speakers are expected to have read the statement within the agenda regarding the regulations concerning public comments. Members of the public are reminded that they are legally responsible and liable for their comments. Anyone, no one signed up?
Nope.
Anyone wishing to speak?
Move to close public comments.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, can I have a motion to go into executive session?
At 9:05, I move to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing personal appointments, resignations, current litigation matters, special education matters, negotiations, HIBs, and matters of attorney-client privilege. The executive session minutes will not be released until such time as privilege or confidentiality is no longer applicable. The board will be in executive session for approximately 30 minutes. Action will not be taken.
Second.
Quick question, are we adding that we're adjourning from executive session? If there's no action?
So we will be adjourning from executive session. We can do a motion there, right, for that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?